What's up, guys? Lord Beardo here, bringing you little beardos a brand new Clash Royale video. Now, today's video, we're gonna jump right into this Xbow cycle deck. Now, I don't go on like a bunch of different other YouTube channels looking up different deck types and this and that, but when I do stumble upon something or get recommended something that I have to try, I always put it through a little bit of a gauntlet of can Lord Beardo and his mildly good skills actually run this deck. Now, this is the Hog cycle, or rather the Xbow cycle 3.0 that I found on Clash with Ash's channel, and it excited me because I'm a huge, I guess, siege deck fan. I like the mortar, I like the Xbow. I like to annoy the people that typically annoy me when they play this game. They're constantly beating me with fast-paced decks and what have you. But all around, this deck is so much fun to use. If you're an Xbow user, if you like using the Xbow, this is the deck to try. Now, it does get a little tricky to use, not too tricky. You just basically have to make sure that when you load up with the Xbow that you have either the Fire Spirits ready, the Inferno ready, or a Fireball ready, and you have to learn what it takes to beat your opponent. That's the biggest thing. Now, I feel like every deck they always explain is about how to beat somebody when you know what their win condition is, and that doesn't always help me. I'm wondering who is in the same boat as me. I always wonder, am I on the threshold of people who suck, or am I on the threshold of people who are decently good? I'm definitely not on the threshold of people who are awesome. That is for sure. And I feel like I can handle myself pretty well. I've been playing a lot of classic challenges. I actually find it a lot more fun to play the classic challenges than to get myself into ladder pushing, because I feel like all I ever play is people with better cards than me, and it's super frustrating to lose to people who have better cards, and I feel like the only reason they are winning is because they have better cards. But then again, we still only maybe get 6 or 7 wins when we do our classic challenges. But you're gonna see right here, we're gonna get down our Xbow super quick. We're gonna play the log to take out the princess. We're gonna get that fireball down, and then our ice spirit down with our little skeletons right there, and we're able to chip away on his tower, mainly by just distracting his troops and playing a bit of defense. Inferno's up. They got the Inferno dragon trying to make some work. We play our skeletons on top of the graveyard, get down our ice spirit, and we are going to snatch up the victory here. Now, basically, when I'm playing this, I'm really only searching for that one tower. If we get into a position where we're fighting for a second tower, it's usually pretty difficult to win that match. It's a tie, or we'll lose if somebody gets a tower pretty early. And one thing that I have been noticing when we lose with this deck, it's generally from elite barbarians. So I don't know if you guys are losing from any one specific thing. And another thing that they talked about in the video is royal giants crushing us. So we're gonna go ahead and open up our magical chest here, see what we get. We got a couple fun things to open up, some chests here and there. We got our own elite barbarians, we got some royal giants. What you got for us next? 9 hog riders, not bad. We have been getting into some hogs, a golem, though we're far from it. The barbarian hut's working well, and the clone spell, which we haven't used in quite some time. So not a bad, man, not a bad magical chest at all. No legendaries, but then again, we only need that bandit. So I'm gonna go backwards in time here and show you guys a couple of the really strong matches that we were able to come up with, and show you guys some of the fun stuff. Now, I didn't really get through the whole challenge in and of itself. I don't know how many wins I got to, honestly. I think it came to a crashing halt pretty quickly. But some of these matches were so much fun. And whenever you see an ice golem, you're always thinking elite barbs or you're thinking hog. I don't know any other deck that uses an ice golem, you know, for the most part, but look at, here comes the P.E.K.K.A. So one of the tricks that I've been doing with this deck is I'll push the opposite lane of what their big push is. We weren't expecting them to have the lumberjack, so this lumberjack does great work against our Xbow, except for we're able to get down to 1580. Now, right hand side, we're going to go ahead and fireball to bring down that electric wizard as much as possible, and he's only going to get a shot off, and we're feeling pretty strong. I'm really enjoying this deck to just switch the flow up. I get really bored with the same style of play, so I always need something a little fresher, something a little hipper, something a little cool. And look at this guy, man. He has got the battle ram. The battle ram is real. There are those e-barbs. We're going to go ahead and get our log down, get down our inferno tower, distract everything. He's going to give us a little zap, but our skeletons are going to work out so well. And check out the defense, little beards. We are getting it done. We are making it happen. We knew that eventually Lord Beardo would learn how to play this game a little bit better. So we're not fantastic, but we are starting to chip away at that tower, making me feel a bit fantastic. His P.E.K.K.A. goes down. We are playing defense on it with our fire spirits. Ice spirit, but he gets the last swing off. We're down to 314, and all we have to do is take care of our defense, and we'll be able to chip away for that win on that left tower. Now look at how sketchy this gets, man. He's got everything he needs. We get our skeletons down at the last second, but look at how close he gets. 634. He immediately goes and puts down his elite barbarians and his ice golem, and we're gonna have to play some serious defense here. There is another P.E.K.K.A. right in play, but as long as we can distract it for a little bit longer, just maybe we can get to that tower. But all in all, I'm pretty stoked about the fact that we stopped that P.E.K.K.A. without him getting any damage on our tower. We're cycling through our cheap cards. Xbow goes down, 218 left. Here comes the elite barbarians. We get the skeletons down, fireball on top of his entire push, taking it down right quick, and little beards, let's make it happen. So we're feeling strong right off the bat with this deck, and that was one of the reasons why I put this video together. I like the Xbow, and when I find a deck that I feel like just sounds interesting to me, I always jump all over it. So once I started working with this, I'm like, let me see how many of my small little fans that are out there are Xbow users. So thumbs up, let me know if you're an Xbow fan. If you hate the Xbow and you're like, Beardo, for real, don't use the Xbow, you need to use a more skillful deck, go ahead and throw that comment at the bottom too. Maybe we can chit chat, maybe I can get a hold of the deck that you guys use and mess around with it, because I'm assuming that all the decks have been changing a lot recently. There is a lot of change in the air, let me tell you. Spring is on its way, and I'm a man of drastic change seasonally, so we got some major changes that we've been rocking in our life. We're ripping through these chests right here. Nothing too good. We got some elite barbs, some goblins, and we haven't upgraded any of our cards. We have so many cards to upgrade, but we really don't have the gold for it. I've been saving up my gold and trying to float around in Hog Mountain so that I can get my bandit. I want to finish it off. And you'll see right there, we did have that magical chest, but a little flip-flopping vids, man. A little flip-flopping vids. We had to jump back in time and then bring you guys forward. Now we're jumping into this match right here, and we're going up against Motonic. I may have said that wrong. Not sure. The giant beatdown deck tends to be a big problem for the siege deck because of how much tanking ability it has, and generally when somebody does a big beatdown deck like this, they always have a bunch of cards. Look at me, missing my log, having to then play the fireball, but it worked out because he played those archers at the worst time he possibly could have. He really could have made out Elixir trade in that scenario, but dude couldn't hack it. Now, there was a big bit of information when using this deck about not revealing your Xbow early, but I haven't had that problem. Sometimes I actually have the problem of not getting to my Xbow early enough. See, I feel like when you play this game and it does backfire in one way or another, I feel like when you let somebody know like this is what you're gonna do, I feel like it changes their mentality and sometimes it throws them off. Now, they don't know I'm playing Xbow. He's got me down to 664. He's pushing. He's got a nice little cycle deck. He's going in, I guess, not really a cycle deck because he's got his giant. So he's got the tools to come and get to my tower. So now we got our Xbow locked on to the archers and they immediately destroy the better portion of the Xbow. There's the witch, the princess. We're able to get his right-hand tower down to 1788. And you'll see where our problems lie in this deck. Now, I do have one of the videos in here where we actually lose the match. And it's just to kind of show when things don't work out right, man. I want to give you guys a chance of seeing when it works and when it doesn't. Let's be honest, there is no magic deck in this game. There are always decks that have major crutches against a specific deck. So the one that we've been struggling with the most is the Royal Giant, and basically people who know how to use their elite barbs well. Those are the people that end up really taking us down. So we kind of split their troops up, confuse them, playing a little bit of defense. Check out our Inferno. Our Inferno tower that we get down. It's gonna work out really well, except for that Electric Wizard is breaking it so quickly that Ice Spirit freezes it for a split second. Fire Spirit's down. The next Inferno tower goes down. He is trying so hard to get to our tower, and it looks like he is going to beat us. And that's what I was saying before. The elite barbs are kryptonite, man. They're kryptonite with this deck. Even the Royal Giant, you can time it so perfectly with the Inferno Tower to absolutely break and destroy the Royal Giant, and that's something that you definitely got to look out for. But have fun with this, man. Let me know what you guys think about the Xbow deck. Let me know if you have one that works out even better. Beardos, peace!